Alex had always liked the quiet of the abandoned station. Most people would find the dim lights and the constant hum of failing machinery unsettling, but to him it was peaceful. He moved carefully across the narrow corridor, his boots clanging softly against the metal floor. Tools clinked in his belt as he adjusted the wiring on the old energy core, a system that had been failing for years. He had been sent to repair it not because anyone expected him to succeed, but because no one else dared to venture into the old sector. The station creaked as though it had a life of its own. Every so often, a low vibration ran through the walls, reminding Alex that the entire structure was barely holding together. He wiped sweat from his brow and focused on the delicate circuits in front of him. Even in its decay, the station held secrets, technology from a time when humanity had been ambitious enough to reach the edges of the galaxy, leaving pieces of itself scattered in orbit around forgotten planets. He was so absorbed in his work that he didn't notice the door to his quarters slide open. The air shifted slightly, a soft draft carrying a strange scent he couldn't identify. At first he thought it was just the recycled atmosphere of the station, but then he felt the unmistakable presence of someone, or something, entering the room. "Who's there?" he called, his voice steady but firm. He reached for the small tool he carried for protection, even though he had never had to use it. A figure stepped into the room. Alex froze, staring at her. She moved with grace, confident and unafraid. In the dim light, her form seemed almost otherworldly. The clothes she wore, or what appeared to be clothes, were unlike anything he had seen. Layers of shimmering fabric and armor-like plating covered her, but as she walked toward him, she let the layers fall away one by one. Alex's eyes widened, not in fear, but in awe. The armor wasn't just protective, it was a disguise hiding her true form. She finally stood before him unencumbered, smiling. Her skin had a faint luminescence, her features delicate yet strong, and her eyes held a depth of intelligence and curiosity that caught him completely off guard. "I am not here to hurt you," she said. Her voice was soft, but it seemed to resonate in his mind more than through his ears. Alex realized quickly that she didn't speak like humans did. Somehow he could understand her perfectly. "Who? What are you?" he asked, his hand slowly lowering from the tool. "I am called Lyria," she replied. "I come from a world far from yours, and I am running." Alex took a cautious step back, unsure whether he was facing a friend or a threat. "Running? From who?" Her smile didn't falter. "From my own people. They do not understand me. They see me as a weapon. I am more than that," he swallowed hard. "And you just walked into my room?" "I needed help," she said simply. "I sensed that you could help me. I trust humans." Alex didn't know if he should be flattered or alarmed. Trust humans? Most humans didn't even trust each other, let alone a stranger from another world. Still, there was something about her presence that made him believe her. Her confidence was genuine, not a trick. "All right," he said finally. "I don't know what I can do, but let's see if we can figure this out." Lyria nodded. She stepped closer to the energy core he had been repairing. Her hands hovered over the machinery, and Alex noticed subtle movements, precise and controlled, as though she were familiar with the technology, despite never having touched it before. The circuits glowed faintly under her touch, responding as if they recognized her. "How are you doing that?" Alex asked, astonished. "It is not difficult," she said. "Your technology is crude, but your creativity is strong. You adapt. That is why I chose you." Before Alex could respond, the station's sensors blared. Red lights flashed across the walls, accompanied by the low, urgent hum of the alarm system. "What now?" he muttered, moving to the control panel. The screen flickered and displayed a warning. An unidentified ship was approaching the station. Alex's heart raced. "They are close," Lyria said. "My people, or others. They are looking for me." Alex's mind worked quickly. He had spent years fixing broken systems, improvising solutions when no one else could. He didn't hesitate. "We need to stabilize the station's defenses. If they find us before we're ready, we won't get a second chance." Lyria moved beside him, guiding his hands on the control panel. Together, they rerouted power to the shields and reinforced the station's weak points. Alex marveled at how quickly she understood the systems, adapting faster than anyone he had ever worked with. Minutes felt like hours as they worked side by side. Sweat dripped down Alex's face, but he didn't stop. Every decision mattered. The approaching ship was not slowing, and time was running out. Finally, the systems hummed steadily, stabilized enough to withstand a minor impact. Alex exhaled, feeling a rush of relief, but he didn't relax fully. He glanced at Lyria. She stood calmly as though the danger had never worried her. "You are remarkable," he said. She smiled again, a faint blush on her glowing cheeks. "So are you. Humans have a strength I admire. You face what others avoid. That is why I trust you." The alarm quieted, but the tension remained. Alex knew the ship could attack at any moment. "We need to think of a plan. Hiding won't last forever." Lyria nodded. "I have ideas, but I need you to help me. Your knowledge of human technology, your adaptability, it is unique. Together we can survive this." Alex felt a strange warmth, a mix of excitement and responsibility. He had never imagined that a day spent fixing old machinery would turn into something like this. Working alongside an alien being, facing danger, and learning that humans could rise to challenges that seemed impossible. Over the next few hours, they prepared the station for the potential assault. Lyria guided him through modifications that enhanced the shields and created traps to deter intruders. They moved silently through the dark corridors, their actions synchronized, communicating with gestures and subtle signals. Each step revealed more of her intelligence, and Alex realized that he had underestimated how much he could learn from her. Despite the looming threat, there was a quiet moment when the tension eased. They stood together on a platform overlooking the main control room, watching the stars streak past the station. Alex felt an unfamiliar sense of companionship, a connection forged in the strangest circumstances. "You're different from what I expected," he said quietly. "I don't know, aliens would be. Hostile, untrusting, dangerous." Lyria tilted her head, studying him with her large, luminous eyes. "Many are. But humans are remarkable. You endure, you adapt, and you fight for what you believe is right. That is rare in the universe. I sensed it in you." Alex smiled, a mix of pride and disbelief. "I guess that's why I'm still alive." Her smile widened. "Yes, and that is why I am here. Because I need someone like you." The lights of the approaching ship blinked faintly on the station's sensors. Time was running out. Alex and Lyria returned to the control room, ready to face whatever came through the void of space. Together they were stronger than either could be alone. The first shadow of the enemy ship appeared on the horizon, its massive form cutting through the darkness. Alex felt his pulse quicken, but he didn't hesitate. He and Lyria had prepared as best they could. Now, they would see if humanity's ingenuity and courage could stand against forces far beyond their world. As the ship drew closer, Alex realized that this moment would change everything. It wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about proving that humans could rise to any challenge, even among the stars, and that trust, courage, and intelligence could forge bonds across worlds. Lyria looked at him, her gaze steady and unwavering. "Are you ready?" she asked. Alex nodded. "Let's show them what humans can do," and with that, the quiet of the abandoned station was broken by the hum of engines, the crackle of energy shields, and the determination of a human and an alien standing together, ready to face the unknown. The enemy ship loomed larger in the viewport, its dark hull reflecting the faint starlight. Alex could feel the tremor in the station as the alien vessel adjusted its course. Despite the station's defenses, he knew they couldn't take on a direct assault. They had to be smart. Lyria stood beside him, her glowing eyes calm and focused. "We cannot fight them head-on," she said softly, her voice steady in his mind. "We need to use the station itself." Alex nodded, understanding immediately. He had spent years navigating the quirks of this aging station. Every hallway, every vent, every old maintenance hatch was familiar to him. He pointed to the control panel. "We can create a diversion. If we lure them into the cargo bay, we can trap them temporarily." Lyria's smile was faint but approving. "Your thinking is clever. Let us prepare." Together they moved through the station, placing energy dampeners and rerouting power to secondary systems. The ship outside had begun firing probes, scanning for life signs. The hum of the energy core grew louder as Alex rerouted power to the shields. Sparks flew and alarms blared intermittently, but neither of them faltered. "You move fast," Lyria said as Alex tightened a conduit. "I've had practice," he replied with a small grin. "When you're the only one keeping a station alive, you learn quickly." Minutes passed like hours. Every time the ship's sensors swept the station, their hearts skipped a beat. The probes were beginning to detect anomalies, and the intruders would soon know that someone or something was hiding. Lyria placed her hands on the wall and closed her eyes for a moment. Alex watched her, amazed at the concentration on her face. Then, with a wave of her hand, a hidden panel opened, revealing a network of conduits that ran throughout the station.
"These will give us the advantage," she said.
"We can move unseen while they search." Alex's mind raced. They would have to split, moving through separate routes to guide the intruders into the trap. He glanced at her. "You ready for this?" "I'm always ready," she said, her tone calm yet commanding. They moved swiftly through the maintenance tunnels, communicating with subtle gestures. Every step had to be precise. A single mistake could reveal them to the intruders. The ship outside fired intermittently, shaking the station and sending loose panels clattering to the floor. Alex's hands flew over the control panels, rerouting doors and activating energy barriers at exactly the right moments. Finally, they reached the cargo bay. The room was massive, filled with old containers and debris from years of neglect. Alex set the final energy trap, a shimmering field that could temporarily disable any intruders who entered. Lyria moved beside him, adjusting the field with a wave of her hand. The first alarmed sound came from the main corridor. Probes had detected movement. Alex signaled to Lyria, and they retreated to opposite ends of the cargo bay, hiding in the shadows. The enemy crew entered cautiously. They were unlike anything Alex had seen. Tall, armored beings with segmented limbs and glowing eyes. They moved with precision, scanning for life signs. Alex's pulse quickened, but he reminded himself to stay calm. One of the intruders stepped into the trap. Immediately, energy surged from the field, immobilizing it. Its companions turned, confused, and Alex used the distraction to trigger additional barriers. Within moments, the cargo bay became a maze of energy fields, forcing the intruders into the perfect position. Lyria appeared from above, moving through the vents with incredible agility. She struck with precision, disabling another intruder before it could react. Alex worked the control panels, activating lights and sirens to disorient the remaining attackers. Despite their efforts, one intruder broke through. Alex grabbed a nearby wrench and swung, hitting its armor. Sparks flew, but the intruder faltered. Lyria leapt from above, using her strength to push it into a containment field. Together, they had subdued the invaders, if only temporarily. The room was silent except for the hum of the energy field and their own breathing. Alex looked at Lyria, feeling a mixture of relief and awe. "We did it," he said, though both of them knew this was only the beginning. "They will not give up easily," Lyria said. "We need to leave the station before more arrive." Alex nodded. "Then let's get ready to move." They returned to the main control room, checking systems and preparing the old shuttle docked at the station. Alex's hands moved quickly, performing repairs and modifications under Lyria's guidance. She seemed to know exactly what to do, but Alex's ingenuity and adaptability were equally critical. Together, they transformed the aged shuttle into a vessel capable of escaping pursuit. As they worked, Alex felt a sense of partnership he had never experienced before. Here was an alien being, far beyond human technology and strength, yet trusting him enough to work together. He realized that humans, with their creativity and determination, could stand on equal footing even in a universe filled with advanced civilizations. Finally, the shuttle was ready. Alex and Lyria secured the last systems and prepared for launch. The enemy ship had begun a new sweep, and their window to escape was closing rapidly. "Are you ready?" Alex asked, gripping the control lever. Lyria nodded. "Yes, together." The shuttle's engines roared to life, shaking the station as they lifted off. Outside, the dark expanse of space stretched endlessly, filled with stars and the distant glow of planets. The enemy ship had detected them, launching pursuit, but Alex's modifications gave them a chance. He guided the shuttle through asteroid fields and debris clouds, using every trick he knew to evade sensors. Lyria assisted, predicting enemy movements and advising on evasive maneuvers. They moved as one, a team born of necessity and trust. Hours passed in tense silence, broken only by the shuttle's engines and the occasional alarm. The enemy ship had not given up, but Alex's determination and Lyria's guidance kept them ahead. Eventually, the ship fell behind, unable to match their maneuvers. Alex exhaled deeply, relief washing over him. "We did it," he said, glancing at Lyria. She smiled, her eyes reflecting the distant stars. Yes, and now we must decide our next step. My people will not stop looking for me, but with you I believe we can find a way to survive and perhaps even thrive. Alex felt a mix of excitement and responsibility. He had always believed in humanity's potential, but this experience had shown him just how far they could reach. Trust, courage, and ingenuity were their greatest strengths, and he had witnessed them firsthand, not only in himself but in the connection he shared with Lyria. "Where will we go?" he asked, finally allowing himself to relax. "Somewhere they cannot find us easily," Lyria replied, "and somewhere we can plan for the future. There is much to learn and much to do." The stars stretched endlessly before them as they navigated through uncharted space. The threat of pursuit was still present, but for the first time Alex felt hope. Humanity had survived against incredible odds before, and with Lyria by his side, he knew they could do it again. They passed through nebulae that glowed faintly in the darkness, weaving between celestial bodies with skill and precision. Lyria shared insights about her world and her people, and Alex told her about humanity's struggles, their creativity, and their resilience. The exchange was not just about survival. It was about understanding and partnership, building a bond that transcended species and worlds. As they settled into a quieter orbit near a small, uninhabited planet, Alex began to see the possibilities ahead. The universe was vast and full of danger, but also full of wonder. With courage, intelligence, and trust, humans could face challenges no one else could. Lyria turned to him, her expression serious yet gentle. "I chose to trust you, Alex. That was not easy for me. But now I see that humans are capable of more than I imagined. Together we can face anything." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known. "Then let's make sure we do. We've survived today and we'll survive tomorrow. And who knows, maybe humans and your people can learn from each other someday." She nodded, her eyes reflecting gratitude and admiration. "Perhaps. For now, though, we rest. Tomorrow will bring new challenges and we must be ready." As they looked out over the planet below, a quiet peace settled over them. The danger had not vanished, but the bond between human and alien was stronger than ever. Together they had proven that courage, intelligence, and trust could overcome the greatest threats. Humanity was not just surviving in the galaxy. They were thriving, capable of meeting any challenge with determination and ingenuity. Alex realized that this was only the beginning. The universe was vast and there were countless adventures ahead. With Lyria by his side, he felt ready to face whatever came next, confident in the strength of humans and the possibilities of their future. And for the first time in a long while, he allowed himself to smile, knowing that he was not alone and that together, they could accomplish the impossible.